Hello, digital media students. Welcome to your 11th week. This week we'll be focusing on public relations in a digital age. Every time I teach this class, I have a lot of students who are really interested in going into public relations as a career. That's their ambition. And I also have a lot of students who, are interested in a career that is maybe adjacent or uses public relations strategies in some way. And then I also know that a lot of students really have no interest in going to public relations at all. So I've tried to make the lessons and activities this week relevant, useful, interesting for both camps, all camps. Your first lesson is going to be on public relations in a digital age, and it's going to go over some of the challenges, rules, best practices, and some of the opportunities and some of the exciting stuff about public relations in a digital media rich environment. If you have no desire to be a public relations professional, I still think it's useful for you to understand how to communicate using, things like social media channels that public relations professionals use all the time, some of their strategies to, advance your career. And I also hope that it'll sort of dispel some of the often negative perceptions about what public relations is or should be. So that's your first lesson. Your second lesson is going to be the next in the series of lessons about how to build a site using WordPress, which is for your group project. This one goes over your homepage and your about page, how to edit and customize them. This is going to be really important because I grade based off of, first of all, those are both requirements that you have a nicely formatted, edited homepage and about us page. And I'm really going to be looking, when you create your website, when your users log on or go to your website, navigate to your website, the first thing they're going to see is a homepage. So you really want it to be inviting, appealing. You want it to be easy to use. So I'm going to be looking for that, and especially navigation. I want to see that the navigation is clear and easy to use. I go over that in these lessons. And then you're going to have a quiz on the public relations reading and lesson. And finally, you're going to have a discussion this week, and it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to go over a historical case study of a public relations communications crisis from the 1980s, when basically an unknown person, we're still not sure who it was, put poison capsules in Tylenol containers and then put them back on the shelves to be sold. Which caused a huge, it was a horrible thing. It caused people to die, and it was a sort of a media frenzy for Johnson & Johnson, Tylenol's parent company. So that happened in the 1980s, and how they dealt with it was going to be very specific to the 1980s. So they used, channels like television and radio and print. Now, what I want you to do is to read through this case study. I've put a summary of it on the discussion board. And a link to resources. And I want you to think about, how would it change in today's world? If this happened today, what would Johnson & Johnson have to do differently than what they did in the 1980s? And I want you to post your response and then reply to your peers, like always. And that's it. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me.